Hello everyone, welcome to Aurelia's Crafting Ideas. I am working on an Easter garland today and I hope that you will join me. The supplies that I'm using today are these. These are beaded garlands that I picked up from Dollar Tree. And they have little bunnies on them, look at that. Aren't they gorgeous? So you're going to need several of these depending on how long you want your garland to be. You are also going to need some tape. And if you wish to restring your garland on a different string, make sure you have those available. I like these garlands. They're really cute. The only thing is I want it to match the rest of my Easter decor. So this year I'm doing pastel colors with a bit of orange. The orange is out of place, I know. Well, then again, carrots are orange, right? So I want to restring my garland. And I do have 4 of these with the polka dot bunnies. So I'm going to go ahead and restring these. What gave me the idea is this one. I also found this one. This one has a gnome attached to it. And look at this. Look at the beading. No yellow, right? So I want to match these bunny beaded garlands with the gnome garland bead. Don't be afraid to change out a garland if you ever find one that is halfway to what you want. It's quite a simple project. So let me show you. I think I'm going to need a tray, so make sure you have some sort of tray or a piece of cloth to help catch all these beads. Now these garlands, they come with a tassel, and it's a jute string tassel, and I cut them off. What I did was I hung on to the piece of fabric ribbon that was attached to it, and then I just took the jute cording off all completely. So now what I want to do is take these beads off and keep them in somewhat in order as I pull them off. And then here's my yellow. I'm just going to take those off. I can reuse the yellow beads for something else. So I'm going to line up my beads right here on my tray. And I'm creating several rows right here, just so I can get all the beads on here. Now, if you want to restring your garland or your beads on a different string, you can do that. So, I mean, I don't mind the jute cording to bead all this. I just didn't want the jute tassel. I wanted some Easter colors, so I will most likely be adding some yarns and ribbons to the supply list. So if you want to do the same, make sure you have those available also. So here we go. This is the last yellow bead. So this is what I have now. I am going to use one of these garlands as a cheat sheet for my pattern. This way I know I have the beads in somewhat of a orderly fashion here. So I have the bunny here, and I'm just going to match these up right here. So here I'm going to skip the yellow and just go on to the pink one. Now, the end of the jute cording, get yourself a piece of Scotch tape and just wrap the ending right there. Just roll that around and then create like a little a sharp, pointy piece right there. This is to help to thread the beads. There we go, see? Like this. So this is where we're at. And then the next bead would be pink. See, it's just restringing, right? And then it would be white. So putting the beads in order as you take them off helps a lot. But for whatever reason it gets mixed up, don't worry. Just remember to save one of these original beads or the already strung beads and use that as your pattern. Or you could just, start a whole new pattern, whichever one. So I am now right there. So I need a white. So I'm putting all the beads back on minus the yellow. So now I need pink. So I am right there now. So, and then I need white, purple, blue, white, so, and then pink, white. So I'm right here, and then the large bead here, just like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to all 4 of my garlands. So I'm at the end of my garland here, so here we go, and then the white one. And then I'm going to take my fabric ribbon, put it on here. Let's see, there we go. And all this does is just lay over the string like that. And then I'm going to create a little loop here. Catch that this way the beads don't fall off, see? And then I want to connect all my garland, so I have that extra piece here. Then I'm going to move this down this way a little bit. And then, see, I have that extra threading on the end too. So I can make adjustments there also. So see there? I have the white, I guess lavender, light blue, white, and pinks. I like it. I like the pastel colors. So I'm going to put this aside and start on another strand of garland. I have completed restringing all 4 of the garlands. Look at this. So they're all matching now. I just, use one strand of garland to make everything all cohesive. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? I plan to put this on my mantle like this. And instead of doing like one little strip at a time, I wanted one full piece. So that's what I'm trying to do. Now, I need to create a loop on this side, so I need to move this ending here. This is why you just need one loose tie on the ribbon. This way you can make adjustments as you go. Once you're satisfied with everything, then of course you can tighten the knot. So I'm going to leave about like 2 inches or something like that on the end. Of the jute cording, that is. So here we go, like that, and then move the beads over. So, and then on this end, I also end up with another 2 to 3 inches. Because this is going to be the starting point on my garland, I'm going to just completely take off the bunny. And I want to go ahead and add a piece of tape to this, just to keep the ending from fraying, because jute cording does tend to fray really, really well. So I'm going to put the wrap that tape around there and then just trim that back down even. So see, here we go. And then I want to just create a loop here. I think I need a double loop. Well, I'm not sure what it's called, but let me show you what I mean by double loop. You get your string back halfway. Here's the ending. Now you want to take this and just get the loop back through the hole like this. See? That way this doesn't slide around. And then you take the ending and it just drops right into the bead. So see how it doesn't, it won't adjust. So that's what you want on the ending. Now, since I took the bunny out, I want to put the bunny back on the side. And here's the ribbon. Now, the beads itself is on there. I don't have as much space in there, but it is still a little loose. See, I can still manipulate the garland, so you don't want it too tight, then it's going to be hard to string your garland. Now, on to the next one. I think that I will reattach the bunny using a separate cording or a separate piece of string. That way, when I put my bunny on here, it'll stay facing forward instead of it going this way. You know what I mean? So I'm going to take this end here, slide my beads over. I'm going to leave the ribbon on here, and I'm going to take this cording here and tie it just like I did here. Connect the two cording, the jute cord. Remember, you don't need that much, so yeah, tie that together. And just keep in mind, don't make the beads too tight. So I want to keep like an inch in here. I think that's a good amount of space. So, and then I'm just going to just trim that down. And then later on I will put the bunny in here. I think to hide the ending of my jute cording, I think I will tuck that back into the bead. I'm going to put a piece of tape here. Hold on. And then slide that back. It's a bit snuggly. Let me see. I need a helper. There we go. And then get the next bead. You know, hide the ending on the jute cording. There we go. Look at that. Right? And remember, we want to keep like an inch between the two white beads right here. So the bunny is going to go there. And I'm going to leave the ribbon there too. Why not? I like these ribbons, so cute. Now, slide the beads this way. And I'm going to go ahead and add the other two pieces of the garland. To connect all four of the small garlands. So look at that. I have one long piece. So I have, let's see, let me measure this real quick. 7 feet. I like it. Now, I want to put the bunnies back on here, remember. So let me find the ending. Here we go. And then here's my tassel. So I'm going to have one bunny there. I'm going to have another one there. And one there. So I'm going to end up with 3 bunnies on the garland. But for now, I'm going to just hang on to that. Save that. I have this jute cording, but it's pink. So I want the bunny to hang a little bit. So I'm going to bring that knot back up here to about a ½ inch. So this way, look at this. The bunny drops, right? See there? Now, the only thing is that my string might slide back and forth. So let's make another adjustment here. You know what I'm thinking? this off. I think I need a longer string. I'm just going to cut this to about 18 inches. And then I can always trim that down, right? So go halfway. Cut that back through the hole. There we go. And see there, look at that. Remember I have this garland, right? The one with the gnome. I think I'm going to utilize this. Like some of this bead can go down, right? I can do. I'm going to take this little tiny fiber. I'm going to leave that, and then I'm going to thread. I'm going to attempt to thread this. I'm going to put the white bead in first. A light blue, purple, and the pink, so I can put this here like that, and then just leave that a little loose here like this, and then I'll take this apart and put one string on the back and one on the front like that, and then just tie this off. I'm going to give it about half an inch right there between the knots. And then this way, when I hang it up, right, I'm hoping that this string here, the one I just attached with the bunny, it'll eventually, with wear and tear, it'll also hang down. I have only 2 of these purple ones, but I think I will utilize it. I'm going to take this and tie that off too. So I now have the pink fabric ribbon and a purple fabric ribbon. I'm going to attach the last of the tassel on here, and I just beaded the white, the blue, the lavender, and the pink beads on here. And I'm going to attach it right here. And then just tighten that knot. So look at this. Nice, right? And then since I only have 2, I'm going to put it on the end here. So I'm going to skip the middle and then go to the last one here. And then put this, tie this off on here. And then just match up the ending. So if you like, now would be the time to add in all the extra strings and fabrics and whatever you want right in here. I like it. So I can, have the ribbon fabrics hang down with the bunny. Eventually, I'm hoping that this piece here will relax and it will drop down also. I think maybe I'll add some more of this. I cut another 18-inch, and I'm going to also add this in here. I'm mean, why not, right? Might as well have fun. So, tie that off. Like that. See? And then just trim that down to make sure all the pieces are somewhat even. There we go. And then let me add another one to this one here. You know, I can always make additions later on, right? You know, because it's mine. Here we go. You know, if I want to add some lavender, if I want to add some blue, I can always do that. But for the minute, I like all this pink. It's like an Easter pastel pink color. Oops, look this way. Tie that off and then match this up and trim. Look at, just make it a little bit more full. I can probably manipulate this one so it hangs down. See? And it's not pointing up this piece right here. Just swivel the ribbon. And the knot is on the bottom, and that one with all the ribbons and the lines and the threads and it hangs down. And then look, on the back of the frame is the label. So when I pull those off, I don't need those. It interferes with my decor. Isn't that cute? I like it. I'm happy with my new Easter garland. So cute. I'm going to move that up a little bit so you can see my garland a little better. I hope you like this idea of redesigning a garland to fit your decor. I'm quite happy with this one. I love the colors. It's working out really well for me. So, and then, like I said, I'm going to add this to my mantle. And then if, you know, later on I want to redesign it, I can do it again. Maybe I will remove the bunnies and just use the beading. The options are endless, right? So this is my garland. And then I went to work on this one. These are the gnome garlands. And like I said, I only have 2 of these. So, and I did use some of the beads off one of these already. So let me take some of this off. I think I want to go with 8 inches seems like a really good length. So see, look. And then I'm going to take this one and do the same thing. Go 8 inches. And that seems to fall about right there. So on the second one, I'm just going to take off these beads right here. Like that, and then move that aside for a minute and move that one. And I'm going to readjust these beads for a minute here. so I can move the gnome. Take the snot out right here. See, like that, and then I'm gonna match these up for a minute here, and then get my beads to even out also. So you see how I like loops, right? I'm gonna take some tape and take the ends here. It's easier to and then same the second loop. There we go. And then I'm gonna match up on this one. Now I'm gonna so if I go this way, right, see how it's going to look, and then I can always drop this on my lantern if I like. So let's see, I'm going to put a little space in there and then tie the jute cording back off. So here we go, look at that. And then I'm going to trim that down to about 1 inch. And put another piece of tape here. Trim that excess off. I don't need that. There we go. Look at that. One done, and off to the second one. I have 2 extra hangers. I can put this on my lanterns if I like. I can put it on the doorknob. I can attach it to an Easter basket for somebody. Whatever I want. I can put it on a gift bag. It'll be a lovely gift. And then here is my garland with the 3 bunnies. It's a very quick project, right? Look at that. And now I have garlands in the colors that I want for Easter. Adorableness. I really like this. I hope you like these quick projects and that you give it a try also. Thank you for stopping by. This is Aurelia at Aurelia's Crafting Ideas, and I will see you next time.